Hello, and on behalf of the Accu-Tech crew, thank you for looking at our YouTube channel. Here is a short how-to video on item performance class. Performance classes, or sometimes known as ABCD or velocity class, can be defined in several ways, but in its simplest form, type A items, or in this case 0-1 items, are your most popular or profitable items, while 0-4 items, or D items, are your least profitable or popular items. Your MIS system can determine the performance class by sales, or profit, or units, or popularity, but we will get to the ranking methods shortly. Some inventory experts believe the performance class should reflect the number of times the item turns a year. For example, performance class 0-1 may turn 12 times a year, while performance class 12 only turns once a year. Your MIS system allows up to 15 performance classes, but we suggest you use 12 or less. Before we discuss the steps on how to have the system automatically assign these classes, let's take a minute to explain how important these classes are to your business. Many companies will use the performance class of an item to establish pricing. Slow turning and unpopular items are costly, so your profit margins should reflect this. In order to justify keeping an item in stock, it must be priced in such a way as to remain profitable. Pricing on popular items can typically be more aggressive. You experience item performance-based pricing on a daily basis. Inkjet cartridges, for example, are priced aggressively at Office Depot, but not at Walgreens. Advil is priced aggressively at Walgreens, but not at Office Depot. These companies understand that if an item is going to take up shelf space and investment dollars, then the profitability and thus price needs to reflect how the item performs. Next, many companies will use the performance class of an item to determine how much to stock or if it should be stocked. Next, many companies will use a performance class of an item to establish when it should be counted using a cycle count method. The more popular, higher performing items should be counted more frequently throughout the year, as they are more susceptible to errors and theft. The physical count worksheets in your MIS system can be run by performance class. Next, many companies will use a performance class of an item to determine where products should be placed in their warehouse. The more popular items should be located in easily accessible areas. And many companies will use the performance class for ordering purposes. Your ordering review cycle should be more aggressive on higher performing items. Purchase groups and purchase profiles can be set up by item performance class. Stock levels of higher performing items should be monitored more closely than those of low turning and unpopular items. Several reports in your MIS system will include the performance class of an item and allow you to filter by the performance class. For example, your inventory valuation could be run by performance class. Having your inventory dollars invested in the right products is critical to your profitability. Some of the backorder reports will indicate the performance class of the item. Having an item on backorder with a low performance class may be acceptable, but having an item on backorder that is high performing can be costly. Your MIS Slow Mover report will show you the performance class of the item, which can help with decisions on reducing stock levels of underperforming items. In order to set up your performance class, you must first go to your I2 control table, and we'll go there now, and tell the system what percentage of your items belong in Class 1, Class 2, and so on. On this example screen, I have 8% assigned to each of my first 5 classes and 10% assigned to each of the remaining classes. Don't worry about getting this perfect the first time, as you will be able to change the percentages at any time. Let's exit and go to our inventory menu, as once your control table has been properly defined, the product rankings function may be run. The rankings function provides the option to update rankings or just run the report. This is quite useful at startup or when revamping the percentages because various combinations can be tested and the results reviewed before assigning the rankings. We'll go to our Purchase and Stock Manager option, then our maintenance and update function, and then we will choose performance ABC rankings. The ranking function contains several options, and it is important to understand that when you choose to update the performance class for each of your items, you should do it for all items, all product classes, all branches and warehouses, along with all vendors. The filters in the function were designed for reporting, but again, if you choose to update the performance class, you should run it for all items. Next, the ranking function contains a date range. Date ranges can dramatically affect the performance class of an item. We suggest you use at least 6 full months of history and an ending date of the last day of a month. Let's point out a few things that are on the screen. First, the system asks, how do you want to rank your items? Your options are sales, profit, units sold, or hits. A hit is defined as the number of times a product appeared on an invoice during the date range you entered. Many inventory experts feel that your ranking should be based on hits, as this ranking method shows your most popular items from a frequency standpoint. If you choose to rank your items by dollar sales, then you may find that a very expensive item is listed as high performing, even though it may have only sold once or twice during the date range. The same applies to profits as well. The good news is that you can run this multiple ways and change your percentages until you feel the performance ranking is applicable to your business and the products you sell. Next, the update performance class question tells the system to take the results and update each item with the performance class. Your product statistics screen contains and stores the performance class of each item. Please refer to your inventory manual for explanations on the rest of the options you see on the screen. Let's run the report, and notice that I am going to be basing my initial run of this report on sales. You will see that the report ranks the items based upon your instructions, but also shows how the item ranks in sales, profits, units, and hits. For example, the first item was very expensive, and it's ranked number 1 in sales, but number 195 in profit, and number 183 in hits, and number 218 ranking in the units sold. The far right hand side you will see shows the performance class of the item. If we scroll down, you'll see my item ones, and now we have these next items begin our performance class 2. Again, you are in control of what defines the class, and the system will take your instructions and automatically assign the performance for you. The rank selections should be studied, and as mentioned, you may change the percentages in your control table and the method in which you rank. Make sure you keep your rankings updated, so be sure to run this function monthly or at least quarterly. The date range is important since an item may have been a fast mover 6 months ago and may be a slow mover today. If you would like to schedule a brief training session on this feature, then please call our help desk. Thanks for watching, and we hope you have a great day.